Maritime support of Grand Bahamas infrastructural development called into question by the PLP chairman. And the search for a 24-year-old missing Grand Bahama man temporarily suspended.
The Bahamas Tonight Northern Edition starts now.
We have been in contact with U.S. officials regarding the change in policy, and we are working with fellow Caribbean countries on collective diplomatic efforts.
Good evening and welcome to the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis. Thank you so much for tuning in. Well, government will make efforts to mitigate against any negative impact expected as a result of new tariffs imposed by the United States. But the nation's leader admits the country could face some headwinds. In tonight's top story, Cleopatra Murphy shares the Prime Minister's assessment of what could lie ahead.
The country will not be unscathed by the Trump administration's tariffs. Prime Minister the Honorable Philip Davis, in a national address Wednesday, pledging to be straightforward with the public, says the country is facing new and very significant challenges following the turbulence that has ensued in global markets.
I've been talking to leaders of other countries, reaching out to the executives in our business communities, and consulting with economists and trade experts to assess the likely impact and to plan for multiple scenarios.
The Trump administration implemented sweeping new tariffs last week with a new 10% base rate tariff applied to imports from the Bahamas. The Bahamas among 100 countries subject to that rate, with other countries receiving higher. The Trump administration yesterday put a 90-day pause on its reciprocal tariffs for most countries except China. That imposed an 84% reciprocal tariff, with the Trump administration hitting China with a 145% duty raise. The Prime Minister revealed how the policy impacts the Bahamas.
If the 10% tariff on Bahamian goods imported into the United States remains, Bahamian exporters in multiple industries will soon feel the impact. We have been in contact with U.S. officials regarding the change in policy, and we are working with fellow Caribbean countries on collective diplomatic efforts. We are also speaking with Bahamian exporters and working to understand whether there are short-term policies we could enact to cushion the fallout.
For the Bahamas, Prime Minister Davis says trade diversification is key, with an agency now focused on expanding trade opportunities.
The new tariffs are likely to cause new inflationary pressures, which would mean higher prices for Bahamian consumers. For a country like ours, higher prices will add to what is already an unbearable high cost of living. We are very concerned about the impact on Bahamian families.
He touted energy reform efforts and a recent reduction to 5% on VAT on unprepared foods, as he says government will continue efforts to provide relief, acknowledging a slowdown of the U.S. economy could also deal a blow to tourism. The Prime Minister highlighted Moody's recent revision of the country's outlook from stable to positive, that report acknowledging the Bahamas' vulnerability to external factors.
Today, we face new risks amid enormous uncertainty. The U.S. tariffs are the highest they have been in more than a century. And since then, of course, the world's economies and supply chains have become intertwined in complex ways, making it difficult to predict with precision what happens next.
The nation's leader says the Bahamas is facing uncharted territory, but it knows how to weather the storm. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
In other news, the Progressive Liberal Party chairman is calling into question the Free National Movement's commitment to the island's growth and development. Is his response to the F&M leader's criticism about a controversial $183 million contract for West Grand Bahama roadworks. Cleopatra Murphy has that report.
Free National Movement leader Michael Pintard must say if the party supports the expansion and investment of infrastructure on Grand Bahama, all of which Minister of Foreign Affairs and Chairman of the Progressive Liberal Party, the Honorable Fred Mitchell, says are pressing needs for the island.
And it is remarkable that a party that would take the position that he does, I mean, Grand Bahama in particular needs infrastructural development from 8 Mile Rock all the way to West End. All the side roads need to be done. The main roads need to be done. And the seawalls needs to be redesigned and repaired. Lots need to be cleared. All of that stuff needs to be done.
The statement from Mitchell comes as Pintard and F&M Chairman Dr. Dwayne Sands suggested a statement from the Office of the Prime Minister that a $183 million no-bid contract awarded to Bahamas Striping Group of Companies affiliate Abaco Caribbean Holdings Limited had been paused and was included on a recently published public procurement list due to an administrative error. But neither is buying it. Pintard questioning how a mistake could happen and why the Prime Minister would insult the public's intelligence. Mitchell insists Pintard clearly does not understand that the statement said the allocation was paused and should never have been on the list, with the publication of something that no longer stands being the error.
It's remarkable that you would have a Bahamian vendor who's able to be qualified by an international financial agency, independent of any support of the government. And so all of it was a go. The problem is that there are certain things which needed to be reviewed. The Prime Minister, when he saw that, said, look, we have to go another direction. For the time being, it's being reviewed. And as the statement says, when that review is done, we will let the public know.
Pintard criticized that how the contract is being executed deprives Bahamians of an opportunity to bid, while the Prime Minister is willing to break the Public Procurement Act.
When it was passed, the Progressive Liberal Party made it clear that this was, in our view, a pretext by the Free National Movement to give contracts to the usual group of people who have monies in this country. And our view was there had to be some protections for the ability of the government to open up the market to other vendors. And that's been largely successful. So this is often called single sourcing. And there's nothing unlawful about it. There are circumstances under which it can be done.
The PLP chairman suggests he is disturbed that the vendor in question had been brought into the matter.
They are essentially project managers, and they share the work around. Some 40 subcontractors, all Grand Bahamians, would have had work, would have been working now, had this proceeded.
Mitchell insists there is no attempt to hide anything, insisting that the F&M should not stand in the way of urgently needed infrastructural development for the island and should support it. For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Cleopatra Murphy.
Switching gears now, the Ministry of Education and Technical and Vocational Training is responding to recent social media posts and news reports suggesting that accommodations are not being made for students with special needs. In a statement, the ministry reaffirmed that inclusive education remains a top priority. Over the past 2 years, more than 30 special education teachers have been engaged, and 14 teachers have received scholarships to pursue master's degrees in special education, some of whom are already in the classroom supporting students with diverse learning needs. The ministry also noted key milestones, including the appointment of the first visually impaired principal at the Aaron Gilmore School for the Blind and the inclusion of pre-vocational students in extracurricular activities such as track and field. Efforts are now underway to expand the Bahamas High School Diploma program to include academic equivalencies that promote even greater access and inclusivity in education. While addressing the specific case involving a child with special needs in Abaco, the ministry confirmed that the student had been receiving assistance until the resignation of a staff member. A teacher later stepped in to support, but when a particular demand could not be met, the parent made the decision to keep the child at home. The ministry says its team has been in communication with the parent and in the interim has provided access to virtual learning for the student. In a follow-up statement, the ministry advised that following consultation with the parent, the student will resume in-person classes immediately as the necessary support has now been put in place. Well, that's good news tonight for 7-year-old Royalty Newton and her mother, Deandra. SNS News broke the news of the ministry's updated decision to Royalty's mother, who says she never wanted to turn to the media, but is now overjoyed that her daughter can return to the classroom.
Now, if she had contacted me or someone had contacted me before all of these interviews went out, I would have never went to the media. I would have just canceled and tell the reporter I'm good. I would delete the post, everything. I would have just dropped it. But nobody reached out to me. But it's better late than never. I am sad it had to happen this way, but I'm relieved. I cannot wait to walk through that front door and give her the good news because I know she's going to be excited. I'm excited for her. I cannot wait to see her expression.
Meantime, the search for 24-year-old Dudley Gilbert Jr. has been temporarily suspended due to turbulent weather conditions. Press liaison officer for the Royal Bahamas Police Force in the Northern Bahamas, Superintendent Stephen Roll, confirmed the update, noting that efforts to locate the young man remain active despite the setback. Roll is urging anyone with information that could aid in the investigation to come forward and assist authorities as they continue their search for Gilbert.
Still doing searches. However, due to the weather conditions, the vessels are unable to make those proper checks until it subsides. Wehowever, I can say that the airplanes are still up to aerial searches of the area. Hopefully, we'll come up with something very shortly. As soon as the weather breaks, the police marine boat will block out the waters, doing their searches again.
In news from police, a 19-year-old female along with 3 males are in police custody in connection with an armed robbery on Wednesday, April 9, 2025. Police reports indicate that it was around 12:30 p.m. when the victim arranged to meet a man unknown to him at a local business establishment on East Mall Drive to purchase his vehicle. Once he arrived at the location, he was approached from behind by 2 males known to him who produced firearms and robbed him of a large sum of cash. The suspects fled the scene, escaping in a white SD vehicle, license plate SG2437, in an easterly direction. Officers acting on information located the culprits at a residence on Chichester Crescent, where the lone female occupant was cautioned and arrested. It was later officers took into custody the 3 male suspects on Allenby Lane, and this matter remains under active police investigations.
And still to come.
The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce hosting a special installation ceremony. We will have that story, sports, and more when we return.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Come on down and see what Dolly Madison has in store for you. Renovate and rejuvenate at Dolly Madison.
Get ready, Grand Bahama. You're invited to Flamingo Lingo 3rd Anniversary Walkthrough, Speech, Exhibition, and Social, the very first of its kind on the island. It all happens this Saturday, April 12th at 17 Plaza from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Catch the Easter sale at Esquire's during the month of April. Buy one suit and get a shirt and tie absolutely free. Give them a call today at 352-8816.
Spring into savings and take advantage of Majestic Retail's Yellow Tide sale. Save up to 20% on smart TVs, tablets, Fire Sticks, mini split AC units, pedestal fans, and so much more. They're located in the bonded area. Call them at 351-3936. A deal is guaranteed at Majestic Retails.
Sunday, April 20th, it's the 8 Mile Rock Homecoming, featuring the 2025 Junkanoo champion, the Swingers Junkanoo Crew. Feel the vibe as they take another victory lap. Sunday, April 20th at Sunset Village 8 Mile Rock Fish Fry. See you there.
Are you ready? I'm ready.
I am ready.
I am ready. I am ready.
Ready or not, it's here. That's right, the biggest gospel show with me, Uncle T Baby Boy, on 8:10 a.m. That's right, interviews, greatest songs, praise and worship. It's going to be exciting. We're going to take the Bahamas to the world and bring the world to the Bahamas.
Your number 1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
Welcome back. The Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce hosted its official installation dinner at the Grand Ilkine Resort, bringing together corporate Bahamas to recognize and celebrate the official installation of the 2025 President and Board of Directors. The CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Dr. Leo Roll, was in-house alongside Chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority and other government officials.
The deal is sealed and it's official. The newly elected president and board of directors for the Chamber of Commerce in 2025 have been installed and are ready to serve the business community of Grand Bahama. The beautiful ceremony took place at a packed venue at the Grand Ilkine, featuring live musical performances and speeches from prominent figures, including Dr. Leo Roll, CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce, Sarah St. George, Chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority, and Dylan Knowles, President of the Grand Bahama Chamber of Commerce.
As you're aware, I was Chamber Vice President many years ago, and so it's nothing new to me tonight. However, it's always nice when you step up to the top position and have total responsibility for what goes on in the Chamber for the next 12 months, and so I look forward to it.
Speaking to the impactful work of the Chamber, several members of the Board of Directors expressed their pride in being a part of the team and shared their enthusiasm for continuing the important work ahead. They are committed to driving progress and supporting the ongoing efforts needed to benefit the community.
Our role is to always facilitate growth and advocate on behalf of the business community.
I never thought I would actually be a part of the chamber. I knew I wanted always to be a member, of course, but to be on the board, it is a static feeling.
The chamber is all about business, and it will continue, I'm sure, to do everything possible to be a facilitator and encouraging the growth and development of business in Grand Bahama.
CEO of the Bahamas Chamber of Commerce and Chairman of the Grand Bahama Port Authority delivering remarks, hailing the Chamber of Commerce as the key curators for the island's business community.
Our job is never easy, but at the end of the day, once the business community is happy, once they are actually thriving, well, first surviving and then thriving, our job has been done.
So imagine a free port where every district pulses with life, where every corner hums with music and art and soul, where industry and commerce thrive. Imagine yourselves at the Chamber, stage managing this new world trading post of goods and people stepping ashore to embark on adventure. Imagine the government and Port Authority working hand in hand with each other and with you. As that other John wrote, you may call me a dreamer, but I'm not the only one.
For the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition, I'm Jolanda Thompson, Everest.
Meantime, the Pride of Grand Bahama Lodge No. 7 hosting its annual Boys Conference down in 8 Mile Rock. Secretary for the Pride, Michael Williams, says each year the Pride reaches out to the seniors of 8 Mile Rock High School to not only prepare them for the workforce, but life.
We targeted the grades from 10 to 12, as they are the young men who are about to enter the workforce, enter the communities, etc. We basically try to reach out and explain to them, hey, the world is a tough place, and if you're not prepared, you're going to get knocked down. So we try to, again, let them know what to expect, what to look out for, and how to accomplish the challenges that they're going to face.
General Manager of Spartan Construction, Deshaun Smith, spoke to the young men about time management and the importance of investing in themselves.
We're in the information age, just trying to spend some of the time that they use on social media for positive things of educational value and not just social value. And then I wanted to highlight also just investing in books, reading more, and how self-education is important even if you can't go to college. It's been important for us. I mean, one for the home community of us, 8 Mile Rock, but also just really pouring into young men, seeing that young men in this country, you know, we tend to get the bad rap in terms of reputation, and we want to be able to share nuggets of information that the kids will take on to their future to be more successful.
And that's a look at stories making news. Jay, what's happening in sports?
I picked up a new sport, darts. And the darts team from Grand Bahama traveling to Luton this weekend for much needed competition. I think you should try playing darts, Megan.
I'm definitely interested. Well, thanks. Sports is coming your way next after this short break.
Here at Island Bedding, we provide Bahamians a local option for factory direct quality sleep products. We have also expanded to include a range of furniture and home accessories. Check out our new living room pieces, including sectional, TV stands, accent tables, and more. Come on down to Island Bedding and feast your eyes on prices you have to see to believe. Located at number 5 Queens Highway, across from Caribbean Veterinarian.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
Hi, I want to put some shoes on your feet.
I still want to put shoes on your feet.
I want to put some shoes on your feet.
And I still want to put shoes on your feet.
We still want to put shoes on your feet.
2 locations to put shoes on your feet. Downtown Freeport, and now our newest location in the Carmichael City Shopping Plaza, right behind the Walk-Up Wendy's, Carmichael Road West.
Spring into savings and take advantage of Majestic Retail's Yellow Tide sale. Save up to 20% on smart TVs, tablets, Fire Sticks, mini split AC units, pedestal fans, and so much more. They're located in the bonded area. Call them at 351-3936. A deal is guaranteed at Majestic Retails.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy, Super P, the entertainer from TCI. I'm stopping by to tell you about the 2nd annual Come Go With Me Best of the Best Music Festival happening in the Turks and Caicos Islands on June 7th, 2025 at the Grace Bay Marketplace. If you haven't as yet, get your tickets, get your flights, and meet me in Turks and Caicos Island because this is about to be a real big movie. Let's go to Turks and Caicos.
Hey, what's up, Grand Bahama? KB here. Hey, it's your boy D-Mark in the building.
Jump and dance and hey, this is Gino D.
Hello, Wilford Solomon here.
Grand Bahama, what's up? Yours truly, Tico T here to let y'all know Sunday, April 28th, we are going to be in 8 Mile Rock.
It's going to be on Jonestown Fish Fry at the Sunset Village. To Grand Bahama, you all know I love you all so much.
Gates open at 7 p.m. I'll be in the house with all the Raker's great generals.
Back by the top tier band.
Gates going to open at 7 p.m. Show start properly at 8 p.m.
You will enjoy yourself.
8 Mile Rock homecoming.
Good evening, ladies and gents. I'm Jay Philippe, and welcome to Sports. Topping Sports, the Grand Bahama Darts Association is taking a team to Eleuthera this weekend to compete in the Gold Cup Inter-Island Darts Tournament. Competition is expected to be stiff with some of the top darts players in the country.
The associations from each island, we have Abaco, New Providence, or Nassau as they call it, Eleuthera and Grand Bahama are active now. It's a tournament to pretty much determine the top association in the Bahamas. We have a 14-member team, 9 men, 8 and 1 reserve, 5 women, 4 and 1 reserve. And yeah, so far we're looking good. The practices have been going well. And on the first day, which is Friday, we play a round robin where each island plays against each other. We play singles, doubles, triples, mixed doubles where it would be a male and a female, mixed triples where it would be 2 males and a female.
Next in sports, the Nigel Boodle's senior men's and ladies fast-pitch softball tournament scheduled to take place in Abaco next weekend is just days away. The Gremlins out of New Providence is once again looking to defend their title, this time going for a three-peat.
Our confidence level is extremely high, but in the same light, being the defending champs, we know that opposing teams are going to be gunning for us, so we're going to try our best to remain as focused as possible. And, like I say, our confidence is extremely high. So we're looking forward to doing pretty good.
And finally in sports, high school girls basketball championship action over at the YMCA Gymnasium. In junior girls play, Sister Mary Patricia defeated Tabernacle 17-8 to win the girls' title in the best of 3 series. Caitlin Major scored 8 points for the Panthers, securing MVP honors. In the senior girls game, St. George's dominated BMES 26-9 to take game 1 of that series. Nastasia's Sherry Font scored a team-high 20 points to lead the Lady Jaguars. Ladies and gents, that's your quick check on sports. Your Facebook friend of the day is next. I'm Jay Philippe. As always, be blessed.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new girl?
And dreams become your life.
This is retirement.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
Here at Dynasty Graphics, we provide the following services to churches, corporate, schools, funerals. We can specialize in mugs, wide format printing, wide format laminations. Also can get thermal binding, which is new to basically Grand Bahama, and we specialize in those. Should you want graduation booklets, wide format photos, any posters for concerts, business at the church, you can also get those, such as tied envelope, visitor's card, school students. We have portfolios that we can offer you, special funeral packages. We do vinyl printing. Our phone numbers are 352-2679, 352-2681. Email address, dynastygraphics@gmail.com.
Hey there, welcome back to Health Bites. If you're over 50 and you're trying to live to 100 plus, you need these 4 supplements. Beet powder is great for energy and endurance, great for blood flow, and it's even great for your immune system. Turmeric is great to help reduce joint pain, it helps improve brain health, and it also helps to reduce inflammation. Omega-3s also help with brain health, heart health, and they can even help to improve your cholesterol. Black seed oil helps to boost immunity, helps to lower blood pressure, blood sugar, and it helps with overall health and wellness. If you're interested in any of the products in this video, or you just want some more information, stop by your nearest Fitness Connection location or shop online at shopfitnessconnection.com.
Your number 1 team in the North. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
And that concludes the Bahamas Tonight, the Northern Edition. I'm Raven Davis.
And I'm Jay Philippe.
Thank you so much for tuning in. The Bahamas Tonight is coming your way next. Here's a live look. They're on your screen.
Where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival.
Learn how to take small things, brothers and sisters, and manage it until your promotion. You gotta learn how to manage your struggle. You gotta learn how to manage your disappointment. You gotta learn how to manage your frustration. Are you hearing me in the Holy Ghost? You gotta learn how to contain some stuff. You gotta manage your tongue.
Watch us this and every Sunday at 8:30 a.m. on ZNS TV 13.
Covering the news seems easy, but we put thought into what we're doing. The Bahamas Tonight Access Now, here to inform, educate, and entertain. a new type of newscast featuring social media trends, news from around the islands, interviews with the people you like in our communities, sports, weather, and fabulous entertainment. That's a Bahamas Tonight Access Now with Marlena Leonard and LaDon Davis. 7:30, Monday to Friday. Only the sun covers the Bahamas better.
At the Broadcasting Corporation of the Bahamas, I'm Clint Watson, and this is ZNS.
News is brought to you by the new BTC. Fiber is here. Faster, stronger, more reliable. Together, we are unstoppable. Switch today.
Coming up in the Bahamas tonight, cushioning the fallout. The Bahamas braces for new and significant challenges of a deepening global trade war. Also, life vests and body cams, soon a requirement for renting jet skis as authorities look to mitigate U.S. Embassy concerns. And a serious fallout with the F&M leads one of its former executives to back the governing party. Tune in to hear why. The Bahamas Tonight, the National Report, starts now. Good evening, everyone, and welcome to the broadcast. The gloves are off as the world keenly watches the global tariff showdown. Just hours after U.S. President Donald Trump gave 90 countries a 90-day reprieve for his administration's 10% reciprocal tariff to export duty-free items to America, international media reports cite that he may consider extending that pause. Well, the Prime Minister isn't downplaying the dangers the Bahamas faces right now, but he is confident the Bahamas can overcome any moment of economic peril. Altavis Munnings leads us off tonight with more on the Prime Minister's address on the implications of the U.S. tariffs. Good evening, Altavis.
And good evening to you, Makushla. Well, at the outset, Prime Minister, the Honorable Philip Davis, declared the Bahamas has had a friendly and productive relationship with the United States for decades. But he wants to make it clear that the country is facing new challenges due to that 10% reciprocal tariff to export duty-free to the United States imposed on the Bahamas. Now, he pointed out that if the 10% tariff on Bahamian goods imported into the United States remains, Bahamian exporters in multiple industries will soon feel the impact. The Prime Minister confirmed that his government has been in contact with United States officials regarding the change in policy, and they're working now with fellow Caribbean countries on collective diplomatic efforts. He's also speaking with Bahamian exporters and working to understand whether there are short-term policies that could be enacted to cushion out the fallout.
My government has taken trade diversification seriously from the start, which means that for the first time, our country has in place an agency dedicated to expanding trading opportunities and a national trade policy. Significant efforts to create new trade relationships were already underway, and those efforts will now be intensified. The new tariffs are likely to cause new inflationary pressures, which would mean higher prices for Bahamian consumers. For a country like ours, higher prices will add to what is already an unbearable high cost of living. We are very concerned about the impact on Bahamian families.
The minister admits tourism may take a hit from these tariffs. The government's relying on its new energy reform plan and that 5% value-added tax reduction of food store items to reduce the burden of high prices. And while the government touts the recent Moody's credit rating from stable to positive, Prime Minister Davis acknowledged that their report did state the country remains vulnerable to external shocks. And this is why he affirms that his government is doing all it can to mitigate economic peril at any cost.
Today, we face new risks amid enormous uncertainty. The U.S. tariffs are the highest they have been in more than a century. And since then, of course, the world's economies and supply chains have become intertwined in complex ways, making it difficult to predict with precision what happens next. Brothers and sisters, we may be in uncharted territory, but we know how to survive storms. We have always found a way to create opportunities out of uncertainty, to forge clarity and purpose from chaos and confusion.
The Prime Minister is confident, Makushla, the country will pursue a constructive path forward as we seek blessings and prosperity for all of our citizens and for all of our neighbors, including our friends in the United States of America. Back to you.
Well, thanks, Altavis. Well, there seems to be a bit of a silver lining to the escalating trade war. At least Bahamas Air's managing director thinks so. Tracy Cooper reasons that as Americans tighten up, many of them will actually choose travel based on proximity. And that's where he believes the Bahamas comes in.
There is an old adage that says that when Americans have a bit of a difficulty with savings and spendings, that they tend to try to then vacation more closer to home. So we see the Bahamas as actually benefiting from, if the Americans don't want to go to Europe, or they don't want to go to Asia, or they don't want to go elsewhere, the Bahamas is just only 50 miles away. And so I think it is beneficial to the Bahamas. I think we'll see the results of that. But I'm hoping that the tariff thing would all kind of go away eventually.
Well, still on the economy, the Ministry of Finance says a continued growth in GDP is likely when fueled by strong performance in the tourism sector. And that trajectory is expected well into the next fiscal year, cushioned by insurance and contingency funds, substantial external liquidity in the financial sector, all crafted to reduce impact from natural disasters. That rosy outlook on the heels of New York-based Fitch Ratings, giving the Bahamas a BB- rating, predicting a stable outlook for the Bahamas. The government again attributing this to strong governance and fiscal consolidation. Fitch's assessment follows the upbeat rating of Moody's earlier this week, which upped its outlook of the Bahamas from stable to positive. Well, a former F&M vice chair is throwing his full support behind the governing Progressive Liberal Party. Appearing as a guest on the ZNS nightly talk show The Rundown last evening, outspoken political activist Richard Johnson even went as far as to encourage Bahamian voters to run from the Free National Movement, a party with whom he severed ties last June following very public spats and an alleged physical attack. Johnson's comments coming on the heels of the F&M's decision to not run its former leader and former Prime Minister Dr. Hubert Minnis as a candidate in the next general election. Johnson chalking it up to pure disrespect. That said, he has expressed every confidence that the PLP will hold on to the government with Prime Minister the Honourable Philip Davis at the helm.
The Prime Minister's focus, he's about the people, he's about people's policy, and he's about getting on there. I'm not a PLP per se, because I'm not. I believe that that Brave Davis is far better than Michael Pintar to lead this country. That's just my personal opinion.
In the meantime, Johnson is convinced the Killarney MP will opt to run as an independent candidate. Well, jet ski rides with live streaming body cams, police and government officials working together to come up with solutions to protect tourists and save the #1 industry. And this in the face of 2 alleged rapes involving American tourists and jet ski operators in the past month. Felicity Darville has the story.
The United States Embassy has issued yet another alert to its citizens, advising them of the risks of renting jet skis in the Bahamas. Authorities are now moving quickly to procure body cameras that will have to be worn by all jet ski operators. That, according to National Security Minister, the Honourable Wayne Monroe.
I understand there is a committee that's chaired by tourism that has representation from the port. And as far as I'm aware, Assistant Commissioner of Police Janet McKenzie is the police representative on it. I support the initiative, the solution being advanced by the police. We have, together with the police, gotten the pricing of the body-worn 4 cameras, the ones that are active live. You can view it real time, and the wearer can communicate back to you, and you can communicate to the wearer. While one doesn't jump to a conclusion about innocence or guilt, the U.S. Embassy will warn its citizens based on what it sees to be credible threats, and so we have to move to minimize those threats.
Once implemented, here's what to expect.
We were told that these are rogue renters who aren't licensed by the port, centralized renting, and the renter would wear it. And a tourism product would be, at the end of it, you should be able to download and get a video of your ride that you could share with friends, put on your social media content. But we have to take away the secrecy in which sexual offenses are committed. Most people do not commit them in the open. And so anywhere that you shine a light will limit or seek to discourage it. As I say, I'm hopeful. I think the police side is a very good one, and I hope that it can be implemented.
Well, authorities are hoping that this measure will help to allay fears of sexual and physical violence. For the Bahamas Tonight, I'm Felicity Davo.
Economic Affairs Minister, the Honourable Michael Algida, seems pleased with the work being done by the Maritime Revenue Enhancement Task Force, a multi-agency body created nearly 2 years ago to help the government recoup millions of dollars in maritime revenue lost annually. Mr. Algida is telling reporters recently that the task force is conducting its work island by island. He stresses that the body is not implementing any new measures, but rather ensuring that there is compliance with existing law and that the law is enforced.
It's working very well. We think it's a huge opportunity. Our marine environment is one of our greatest assets, and people who, for want of a better word, exploit meaning they come, they enjoy it, they might fish, they might, dive and do all of these things. We have to make sure that, the people of the Bahamas is getting a return on that activity through the proper fees, et cetera, being collected so that we can do things like protection and conservation, et cetera. So they continue to work. They're doing a fantastic job, led by Commander Boleg.
The minister's comments follow last week's seizure of 5 American pleasure vessels during an operation led by the task force in waters just off Paradise Island. The vessels were reportedly being used for commercial purposes without proper authorization. Customs Comptroller Ralph Munro says the activity, which violates Bahamian law, appears to be on the rise. Since last year, he says authorities have conducted at least 4 similar operations.
The Revenue Enhancement Unit has been moving about the Bahamas. We sometimes make the mistake in believing that the Bahamas is New Providence, but we have done similar seizure in Abaco, multiple vessels, and of course we've done some in Grand Bahama as well. As a matter of fact, the latest one we have in Grand Bahama is presently before the court. But there was a second one in Grand Bahama involving 3 vessels where hefty fines were paid, similar to what was done in Grand Bahama.
You're watching the Bahamas Tonight, the National Report. There's more news in a moment.
Imagine a world where every brand knows your name and every store awaits your arrival. Elite shopping, travel where luxury is a lifestyle and every journey feels like home. Dine where every flavor is just for you, every table reserved, and every moment a taste of perfection. Make every big moment even bigger. Experience banking where wealth isn't just managed, it's maximized. Step into a world without limits. Commonwealth Bank, leader in personal banking services.
Irresistible taste of a KFC big deal, some people will do anything. KFC is finger-licking good.
While others see customers as numbers, we see our customers as people, neighbors, friends who deserve more than one-sided connections. That's why we are redefining what real connection is by prioritizing our customers and showing our appreciation by putting our money where your loyalty is. BTC customers, claim your $200 Bahamas Air gift card when you add postpaid mobile to your internet plan. That's loyalty that flows both ways.
How do ideas become plans? Plans become memories.
So you like my new room?
And dreams become your life.
This is retirement.
Do you remember when hope became a house? When that house became a home? Your ideas are everything, and we're here to help make them happen. Your idea of yes, I can happens here.
What if I told you Wendy's has a new burger? With a flavor so secret, it's almost too delicious to handle. Well, now it's time to unlock that flavor. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger. We can't tell you everything, but we can tell you that it's packed with flavor, including our secret barbecue sauce. Try the new sweet and smoky barbecue cheeseburger today. Available for a limited time. Limited time.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Bahamas Striping Group of Companies, where safety is first.
You're looking at a shot there of the waters of New Providence at sunset. That shot courtesy of our drone pilot, Neville Smith. Welcome back. A Bowie, Maryland family suspicion that foul play was behind their loved one's death here in the Bahamas this weekend shot after the results of an autopsy report suggested otherwise. Days after Denari McAlmon's lifeless body was found on a beach on Paradise Island, the pathologist's findings revealed that the 23-year-old died as a result of drowning, but that police were still awaiting the forensic toxicology analysis. Authorities also making it clear that the matter would be forwarded to His Majesty's coroner. But McAlmon's mother, Michelle, told Eyewitness News there were injuries to her son's face and sand in his hair. Now, when asked about claims of the victim being assaulted, National Security Minister, the Honorable Wayne Monroe, made it clear he's not part of the investigations. But he did say this.
I'm familiar with the forensic pathologist who was trained in the U.S., who I think participated in some of the work when they were seeking to identify people from ground zero. We have a very competent forensic pathologist. If they do not give faith and credit to her conclusions, which will be in a comprehensive report, I'm quite sure when they transport, they can have another pathologist look at it if they see fit. But I would have faith and confidence in the work of the forensic pathologist, who I know who gives evidence in our court very frequently.
The man accused of murdering a 27-year-old single father formerly charged with the crime. Prosecutor Inspector Dion Barr brought charges against Hakeem Nixon, an 18-year-old resident of John Close. It's alleged that on Tuesday, March 11th, by means of unlawful harm, Nixon intentionally and unlawfully caused Edward Thompson's death. The incident occurring on Fleming Street. Police said the father of 3 young children was walking on Fleming Street when a masked man on a motorcycle pulled up, firing shots in his direction. Nixon was remanded without bail. He returns to court on July 12th to be served a voluntary bill of indictment. Well, suicides in the opening months of 2025 alone superseding the total in all of 2023 and just 2 shy of the total number reported in 2024. What's even more alarming is that one of the victims was Mariano Cherry, a youngster who allegedly took his life before even reaching double digits. Senator Darren Pickstock attributes this to mental health issues having no age limit.
Someone from 8. And I know middle-aged adults to older adults who have all been victims of suicide. And so we just need to give them that support. That's why I'm calling for more guidance counselors in the schools with specialization. That is why I'm calling for more psychiatrists with specialization, because it matters not the age, right? It matters, what matters is that people feel hopeless and they feel that they can't bring themselves out of where they are.
A painful point of reference, but one that's his reason why Pickstock's friend too took his life. It's for this reason that he's now able to pinpoint the signs.
If you have a friend you haven't heard from them, call a friend. Call your friend. Ensure that, because sometimes, you know, a person can be laughing today and they are struggling. Right? And so we must be kind to one another, right? We must not dismiss people's, feelings. You ask them, what's going on. I haven't, you've withdrawn. I haven't seen you, I haven't spoken with you. And so, maybe this is a clarion call.
In other news this evening, Family Island businesses urged to strengthen their security posture online in order to stay ahead of evolving cyber threats. Figures show that small island businesses are often most vulnerable to cyber attacks, which can lead to operational disruptions, among other issues. It also comes on the heels of recent cyber attacks against national institutions like the University of the Bahamas and the Water and Sewage Corporation. Well, Director of Information Security at Cable Bahamas, Shakira Johnson, recently telling Eleuthera's business community that cybersecurity is pivotal to the growth and sustainability of their operations.
What happens when a business suffers from a cyber attack? Operations grind to a halt, customers lose trust, financial losses pile up, and in some cases, companies never recover. A single breach can wipe out years of progress.
Johnson also urged business leaders to ensure proper mechanisms are in place that will allow their operations to detect, contain, and recover quickly from cyber incidents.
Do you have backups? That's my first question. And if you do, kudos to you. Are you testing them? Are you testing them? And I know these may not be the questions directed to you exactly, but if you have an IT team or someone looking after your technology, these are the questions you need to go back and ask them.
Stay with us. The National Report continues after this.
This portion of the news is brought to you by Fiscal Smart Pass, the smart way to pay at the pump.
Do you ever just want more?
But wait, there's Marco's! Introducing the More Marco's menu, packed with your favorites starting at just $6. Like our warm, golden baked cheesy bread, crispy stuffed risotto. How about a hot, fresh, medium one-topping pizza, subs, calzones, pizza bowls, and more. Starting at just $6. Certain restrictions apply. More variety, more value, more Marco's! Order today at Marco's Pizza, Bahamas.
We're here at the Nassau Village Community Center project, where over the past 17 months, we've hired over 20 Bahamian subcontractors to bring this beautiful project to fruition.
I've been living in Nassau Village for more than 19 years, and to see a project like this bring great joy and pride to me.
This state-of-the-art multi-purpose community center will serve as a crime-fighting initiative in the community. Also help with the education of our kids in this community and a hurricane shelter.
Yeah, and it also shows what we as Bahamians can achieve when we work hand in hand with each other.
We have the technical know-how, and we can pretty much deliver on any project here in the Bahamas or in the world.
Bahamas Stripe and the Bahamian company, they prove that they believe in Bahamians.
Based on the outcome of this project, I don't think they're disappointed in giving a small person an opportunity to do a job such as this.
The more opportunity they get, the more opportunity we will get.
If you look around and see the work done so far, it just shows what we as Bahamians can do.
Introducing the Fiscal Smart Pass app that helps you to fuel up faster. Here's how it works. Download the app on the App Store or get it on Google Play and create your profile with payment details. Visit your nearest Shell station, open the app, scan the pump's QR code, select your payment amount, and begin fueling. Say goodbye to cash and cards because the Fiscal Smart Pass offers secure and convenient payment options right at your fingertips. Download Fiscal Smart Pass now and fuel up faster today.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 700 Wines and Spirits, bringing celebration across the nation.
Well, we're going to toss it now to LaDawn and Marlena for a check on what's coming up in Access Now.
Well, Makasula, we have a new talk show coming to 104.5 FM, and I think Malena's going to interview our live studio guest this evening.
Yes,
Malena?
we're going to be talking to Gandhi Pinder. Are you a fan of radio shows?
I am, and I'm a fan of Gandhi.
Love it. Can't wait to hear more
I'm so happy for her, and of course, happy for the Broadcasting Corporation.
Yes, yes.
Stay with us. Our feature story is up next.
diet-friendly special?
Is the Little Caesars Stuffed Crust Pizza. Get more pizza for less money. Only $12. It's a whole new level of pizza with cheese stuffed crust so spectacular that there's nothing left.
Pizza.
A delicious pepperoni pizza with the crust stuffed with lots of cheese and brushed with butter and garlic flavor and sprinkled with Parmesan cheese. Hot and ready Thursday to Saturday between 4 and 8 for only $12. Simply irresistible. And only at Little Caesars.
Pizza.
Throughout our lifetime, we must all make decisions. No matter how we choose, the right one just needs to be made. Like having J.S. Johnson Insurance Agents and Brokers as your insurance partner. We've been serving the Bahamas for over 100 years. Whether you need home, motor, marine, or commercial insurance, make the right decision. Call 397-2100 or visit jsjohnson.com.
JS Johnson Insurance. Peace of mind.
A taste of Cat Island, Andros, Eleuthera, Grand Bahama, and New Providence to be experienced at this year's BAIC Taste and Tell Expo set for Saturday, April 26th at the Western Esplanade. A variety of Bahamian-made jams, jellies, sauces, juices, sea moss products, wines, and so much more will be featured. This year's event aimed at promoting small and medium-sized Bahamian food processing businesses, bringing together over 40 processors to connect representatives of food stores and wholesale food distributors with owners and operators of restaurants, hotels, and other tourist and domestic-related enterprises. Bahamians are urged to support their own as the country looks to lower import fees. Well, that does it for the National Report, but stay close. The Bahamas Tonight continues with Access Now.